All right, day 16 in the books. Thoughts from today. Um, I actually slept kind of in this morning and did my first workout kind of mid-ish day. I think it was between like 11 and, actually no, shoot, I thought it was 11 to noon, but no, it was actually between 1 and 2. This is August, it's Georgia, and it's hot. And I did it outside. Heat index today was somewhere on 105 to 106, and so my bright idea was to do a 20-pound ruck, half a mile, grab a sandbag, and do overhead, like a kind of like a clean and press with my 25-pound sandbag, and then do a farmer's carry for 100 meters. Do the overhead clean and press again, and then do the opposite side, farmer's carry for another 100 meters, clean and press for 10. Do a walking lunge for 100 meters. Could not do that, so I did 10, walked for 10 breaths, or about 10 steps, and 10 more lunges, took about 10 steps, 10 more lunges, and so on until I finished the 100 meters. Again, clean and press, 10, and then came back with a Zercher carry, and then another half mile with the 20-pound ruck. Once I got to the second round of doing that, so after the second half mile, I started to feel that little dizziness. I was soaking wet with sweat, and I was getting to that point that was just past tired. So I wasn't tired, I was tired, but I was more than tired. I was starting to feel my body kind of do weird stuff, and so I was right on that edge, and that's where I wanted to be. So I knew, that I probably wasn't going to make the full 400 meters. So what I ended up doing is I did the clean and press, farmer's carry, clean and press, farmer's carry, and then went and put the bag away, one more half mile ruck, came back, and that actually hit me right at around 46 minutes. But part of my commitment is do at least 10 burpees for those workouts, and I knocked that out, and it was great. Put some water in right away, Formula One, ignition, a little creatine, and bam, recovery started. Got in the shower. I was still sweating after getting out of the shower, getting dressed, and getting in the car to go get my kid from school. So, it wasn't easy, but the reason I tell that is that's one thing that I've learned throughout this last year. So since January, since I started actually getting back into shape, getting back into nutrition, is that you have to push yourself a little bit further than just, oh, I'm tired. Because you can get tired doing just about anything. Like, I was tired tonight when I did my second workout. But it wasn't that the intention was there to do an active recovery workout from the hard workout earlier in the day, and that was the intention. So I was tired, and that's what I got myself to tired, but I didn't push past it, because that's not the point. The point was to allow myself a little recovery. But on that first workout, the point was to grow, and in order to grow, you have to push yourself a little bit. What you have to be careful of is you don't want to over push. is you can very easily push into that danger zone where rather than growing, your body starts to truly break apart. That's when injuries occur. And so that's one of the big things that I kind of have always been focused on for several years is injury prevention and longevity in martial arts. So I utilize martial arts a lot in my fitness because of that bit of education that I had prior to getting into this last year. And I've done 20 years doing martial arts. I've done several different arts. I have a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've got a black belt in a couple other arts that my instructor created, and I'm an instructor in as well. I've almost gotten some other black belts. I've brown belt in judo, jiu-jitsu, jeet kune do, and kung fu. Kung fu is where I learned the kind of the art of longevity and why you would pursue that. So today I'll talk about a little bit of the conversation that I had with my instructor, and it was about gaining power, really. And the way he equated it is there's two paths. You've got the path of the young man, and the path of the young man is it's a quick and painful path, but it will bring power to you very quickly. So you'll become better faster and be able to do all the things faster, and you will get power with it. The thing is it has a limit, because in order to do that, you also destroy the body. And so you gain power very quickly, and then you cannot maintain it because your body falls apart, and you have to have the physical machine has to work in order for you to maintain that power. So the second path is the path of an old man. And an old man has taken his time, and he builds that power incrementally, and it's a lot more like a exponential graph. It's very, very small, very, very slight rise in power for a little bit of time, and then it gradually blasts off, and it's maintained. So at a certain point, the body has been conditioned to be able to achieve those powers, that power and that ability or whatever it is that you're trying to do. But it takes time, and a lot of people are in a super big hurry. But that's the way fitness works too. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing today 7 months ago. It's when I started in January. I could barely work out in January. It was hard for me to just walk, like to go out and do any of the stuff that I did today. I would have actually been, I'd ended up, somebody had to call an ambulance on for me. So you have to build to it. It takes time. And I'm nowhere near my capabilities. Like, I know I can do better than this, and I know I have to build to it. I know I can't just push myself to that limit, because I also need my physical body to be around. I want to be able to continue to do this when I'm, in my 50s, in my 60s, 70s, 80s, and so on, as long as I possibly can. Until that clock runs out, I want to be able to physically perform. I want to be mentally able to perform. So, I pursue things that allow me to have that longevity. So that's just kind of the thoughts I had for today. Again, it's day 16, and I'm in that second week now, plodding along, And one challenge I did have today was my diet. I had to do some math. I had some food I needed to cook, and I cooked it, got it done, threw it into the my tracking app with First Form, and it was amazing. It was super delicious, but I had to cut the portion in half, do a bunch of stuff, and to make sure that I could hit my macros because it had more fat than I had counted on. So, that being said, I still made it work. I still figured it out. I had to end up cooking some chicken later on in the evening. So that was my last meal. It was really delicious. Little chicken meal, just plain chicken with a little bit of kicking chicken sauce flavoring on it, and threw it in the oven, and bam, good stuff. But it was a difficult lesson to learn because I was scrambling. I had to hit the diet, no junk, nothing like that, and also wanted to hit those macros, trying to get. I have checks, so there's a check mark on calories and protein and carbs and fats, and I only have to hit the check on calories and protein. That's the only rule. But I've been doing really good at hitting it on carbs and fats, and so now I'm half challenged on my own to do that every time, and it's awesome to do so. I'm also in the middle of their summer challenge, and I'm having a good time with that because it's 75 hard is making that so much more meaningful. So anyways, now I'm just rambling on, but if anybody does watch this, you see it, you're struggling, you have a question, you just want somebody else to kind of be there along the way, somebody else to hold you accountable. You're not to the point where it's the guy in the mirror or the gal in the mirror, whatever. That person looking back at you isn't the one that's holding you accountable. You need somebody else. Hit me up. I put my Instagram in the description thing, so just feel free to reach out on Instagram, follow me, if you're not ready to reach out yet, whatever. And I'd be glad to, answer questions, point you in maybe the right direction, throw some knowledge your way, and you can do with it what you want. So anyways, thank you again for watching, if you do. If you made it this far, and I guess like everybody else says, like and subscribe or whatever if you want to get those notifications that I'm actually doing another one of these. I'm trying to do it every day of 75 hard. That's just a goal that I've set for myself. It's not a requirement, but so far every day got a new one. This was probably the longest one yet. So I don't know that I'm going to go much longer than this, but who knows. So that's where I am. Oh, and by the way, sorry, I am going longer. Iron Cowboy, again, phenomenal book. I actually screwed up today and had to read an extra bit because I read about 5 or 6 pages, had to go do something, and when I came back I ended up taking a nap, and so when I woke up I was like, shit, and I had to end up right back at the beginning. Boom, knocked out another 10 pages, and I'm glad I did, because I am absolutely loving that book. It's motivating. It is it's inspiring to see and to listen to, or to not listen, but whatever, in my own head I'm listening, because it's kind of that whatever voice I've given him. But But to kind of get that perspective from somebody going through something incredibly difficult. Uh, anyways, just anyway, yeah, that's it. So again, thank you. Just tons of gratitude and much appreciation for everybody in my family that's putting up with me going through this as well. So yeah, I think that is it. All right, well, thank you again. Have a great night.